Y'all, we got to do a better job. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about the world. When I say y'all, I'm talking about those who need a bit of emotional intelligence. I'm talking about those who need a case of self-awareness and situational awareness, because ain't no way this young lady feels that it's grounded in reality that most transgender women will not be in relationships, will have to settle, will have to compromise. Let me tell y'all this. We have created such an environment of stigma. We have created such an environment of hate. We have created such an environment of exclusion that people really feel that they might die on this world in this world alone, when there are other people with other identities, right? Other practices in life where it is just automatically set for you to be successful in partnership and in romantic partnership. Yeah, we got to do better. Transgender women and transgender people, period. Please know that you are loved and that you deserve love. Please know that you are worthy and that you are worth it. Please know that there is definitely somebody out there for you. And let me tell you this, baby, and I know I don't like to get into the age thing, but we got to keep on living, because some of those folks that you meet right now in the season of your life is not the people that you won't go keep in the seasons of your life down the road here. But I guarantee you, La Mama, that they got love out there just
Hello,
for you.
everyone. It is Princess Ariel, and I just saw the video of the gentleman, and I just really wanted to say thank you for speaking up. I think the last guy that I can remember that was African American speaking up for trans people was that Malik, I think Yoruba was his last name, the actor, and he was with Candace Kane or Candy Kane or whatever y'all call her, Candace. I believe that's who he was with. I might be saying the wrong trans girl, but he was with one of those pretty non-melanated girls, Hispanic, speaking up for trans rights. Maybe almost 2 years ago. Look it up; you can find it. I can't remember the girl's name, but that's the irrelevant. I was just saying that he was one of the ones that spoke up for trans people. When I think in my mind about, the liberation of black people, I don't think just up for myself. I think for all black people. Even though it feels like we don't like each other. When I go on live and TikTok at night, it feels like so negative because of, first of all, they see my face. I look like my mother. I don't have any makeup on. It's late at night. I'm not putting makeup on to appeal to anybody, because you can go right over to my to my profile and let your fingers do the walking, and it says TS Skydoll Ariel all day long. And you know what transsexual means. TS means transsexual. You're not stupid. In 2025. And I've walked this earth from the beginning in fear, afraid of my own black people here in America, in my own community, because of the way they really use the church to weaponize transgender, and LGBTQ people all across the board, all day long in the black church. But I grew up in the church, so I felt the nasty stares and the cold eyes, and the other children around me getting little candies and hugs, and oh, that's going to be his little girlfriend. And they just kind of stare at me like this. And that was my childhood, like because we spent all the time at church. But as an adult and hitting around 30 and feeling like I wanted to take my own life because I didn't fit into the queer and gay community, because I was a, very feminine, girly person, I started to feel like I didn't have a place on this earth until, I met a trans girl who didn't tell me she was trans. I just thought she was a real girl. And she said to me, "You're trans." And I said, "Oh, what is that?" And then that sent me down a rabbit hole, and I realized, I started connecting the dots of, oh my god, oh my god. Deep down, I've always, wanted to be a girl. I've always identified with women. It never really connected the dots because there was no trans people around me to really, let me know. They were calling me gay, 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 but I was like, yeah, but something's not, something's not connecting here. I don't want boy parts on my body. And so, um, as I began my transition and everything, it was really rough. Like, it was hard in the beginning. You have to do a lot of psychiatric counseling, and then um, they want to make sure you're going to be able to handle going through what it takes to become transitioning from a pre-op to post-op and all of that. So I started my transition back in think it was 1999, like in December of 1999. And from there I went forward. It took me a very long time to get through my transition because one of my friends, a gay guy that I knew, who knew I was transitioning in private, went to my boss at my job and told her that I was trans. And that sent me into a tailspin of getting run off the job, and then just bouncing around from Florida to Arizona to back to Florida to Arcancianas, back to Arizona, and then on to Las Vegas. And then I met a guy online around 2007 who was Egyptian, and we were supposed to meet up, and then he didn't seem like he really wanted to meet. He was from Alexandria, and then I met another guy who was like a lawyer of some sort, and me and him started talking, and I immediately wanted to go and meet him, and so I flew over there, and when I met him, everything seemed so like fairy tale and fantasy like for the first year. The second year, it started getting a little wavery, and then by the third year, 2009, we got married in his country, and to make a long story short, shortly after we got married, Facebook was around, of course, and a white Canadian girl messaged me one day and said, um, "That's my husband, and thank you for the money." And so I was gooped and gagged because I was like, "Both of us are married to this man." Oh, okay. So he proceeded to be angry about it when I confronted him and everything, and eventually we separated with the help of my mom and stuff, trying to encourage me to go ahead and leave his ass alone. He reminded me how I was the ugliest American he had ever seen. I look like my mother. I think my mom's beautiful. I'm not trying to look like anybody else other than her. Uh, and he told me I look like a gorilla. He told me that, you know, he said so many horrible things because I wouldn't give him any more of my money. He had taken it all anyway, so and given it to that girl, and so I had nothing left. But he said to me in his final words to me, and I just accepted it. I just was like, he said, nobody will ever love you. They'll want to have sex with you, and they're going to throw you away like garbage because that's all you are, is an American piece of garbage. So I said, okay, so if this is the way men treat trans women or women, black women in general, because I really don't see the difference between the two of us other than they can give birth. Some of them can have birth and create life, and other than that, I still identify as a female. My brain is female wired. It's not hardwired as a male. It never has been. It never will be. And in the next life, I will continue to think and be who and hell I want to be, regardless of what anybody thinks or anybody says. I mean, and so I believed him. I believe that I'm not the best person on the planet, is what he said. They really don't want a black woman. So that's okay. Then I'll stay by myself. So it was hard to let go of that relationship. And I've met, a lot of men in my travels and stuff, but I don't allow it to go any further than just a friendship because I don't want to repeat of what that guy did. And in my mind, I said I left the United States thinking that if I left those American guys alone, I would find a husband over there, and then I could travel back and forth, like spend the summers in his country in Cairo, and have the fall over in the U.S. That's what I was thinking in my head, and that's what we were planning. And we're going to do surrogacy and get a baby. And he was a lawyer, so he was going to work. I didn't have to work. We had worked all this stuff out, but it was all a sham because he was married to that bitch over there who knew about me. Like, you letting your man sleep around because you getting a little paycheck off of me, and then you're going to email me and tell me that that's your man. Like, how is it your man? But he had her face in their wedding photo and his Facebook account. That was their wedding photo. I saw it, and I gagged because we had thousands of pictures together in our wedding outfits and stuff, and thousands of pictures on vacation. There was nothing of me in that thing. So I was heartbroken. I was devastated. It was like I wasted 3 years of my life, and I felt broken inside after that. And I just was like, men disgust me. I'm disgusted by them. So I'm not. It's not even anything to me to just say whatever black woman out there who loves black men or white men or whatever race of man there is, you can have them. It's plenty of them around, but don't expect that you're gonna get the the best treatment in the world, because a lot of them don't like y'all. They don't like women. They don't like trans women. They don't even like themselves. They think they just like each other. And so I'm grateful that this guy came on and said the nice, kind, sweet things that he said about, trans people being supported. But I think all black women, regardless of across the board, especially dark-skinned black women who don't like themselves, it has to be that you don't like yourself to be attacking somebody like me, because my life didn't revolve around when I was born to be with a man. If you're a child, you should not be attacking a little kid about how they present. And you can't tell a child how they present. They come out the way that they are. I had a dad at home. I had three older brothers, and I was always with my dad. But that didn't stop anything. Life was lifing from the door, you know. And my uncles and stuff, I think they could see it. They treated me very well, and whatever I wanted, they did it. Like, they gave me whatever I wanted, and I loved that about them. And I miss those particular uncles, which was on my mom's side of the family. And I love my dark skin. Like, I'm not trying to be anybody other than who I am, and I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Because when I'm, out and about in the world, I walk the world like this. Nobody's using male pronouns other than my immediate family, who still struggle with, accepting that. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes, as a trans person, you just have to accept, people's ignorance. I call it ignorance, because at some point you're just being ignorant. And give up the ghost. Like, I have animals and things that I take care of. I don't spend a whole lot of time trying to, talk to people about my life anymore. I feel like it's just a waste of breath, because either you're going to accept it or you're not. And a lot of people are just wanting somebody to attack and verbally be abused, because they themselves in their life is miserable. And I get it. I understand that a lot of women are hurting and they're lonely and they don't feel good about themselves, because the world keeps telling you white is better. It's better to, have a mixed race child. If you have a mixed race kid, that's going to make your life somehow escape the things that are happening around you with your current administration. But I'm here to tell you, it's not a flex. At the end of the day, they don't want you here. And you have to come to terms with that. While you're busy browbeating your own black LGBTQ brothers and sisters, the system that governs all of us is telling us we don't care a shit about none of that. Project Esther is going to take care of the LGBT alphabet community, and Project 2025 is going to take care of you straight folks that are black. And as you're seeing it roll out right in your face with the Hispanics and the Venezuelans who ran down there and pulled that liver for Trump, look at them now. And now you're seeing the troops rolling out in D.C. and their petty crimes, loose open cans of beer, and you're getting carted into with a belly chain and all these things around your wrist like you're some hardened criminal, and all you had was a loosey cigarette in your mouth, and you're black. But, this is the world that we live in, and I just, like I said, once again, I want to thank the gentleman for, coming forward and saying what he said. I think it is a very important message to get out there, that we need unity and peace amongst each other. I know it's going to be hard to come, because you've got those conservative black mega Christians out there who do want to be the pick-me's. And at the end of the day, we've already seen, if you know your history books, the pick-me's, they get strung up the tree just like everybody else. Your money and your classism and your buying into colorism is not going to save you. I'm here to tell you, your children will be at the Alcatraz right along with everybody else, no matter what race it is. So while you're sitting there browbeating the most marginalized people on the planet, which is your transgender people right here in America, go right ahead, work it out if that's what makes you feel good. But just remember, Project 2025 is not just for the trans, it's for all. Always remember your children, your family members, all those dark-skinned folks that you want to get rid of. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but it looks like that's the goal. What you gonna do, boo? What you gonna do at the end of the day? Because it's coming for you too. Us now, you later. Just keep that in your mind. You heard it here first. And it's always not the message, but the messenger. If the messenger came packaged up in some white skin or mixed race skin, oh, you guys will be right on board for that. But since it's coming in this little thick frame and this dark skin with these cutesy features, bitch, you don't want to hear it. But I'm here to let you know. I lived this. I lived this. I was born in the late 60s, right when y'all were getting the very right to date outside your own race. Before then, you couldn't even eat at their restaurants, which they're trying to go back to that. Y'all might want to tap into your local, you know, headquarter news that's controlled by him. So, good luck. That's the only thing I can tell you. So, thank you once again for listening. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I hope somebody takes something out of this. Spread your love and don't waste your time hating each other, because it's not going to save you if you're here in this current administration. We're all in danger, Molly. Bye.